Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. Barakatah Yahweh. The name of this one is There's a Crying for Wine in the Streets. This was a title that came to me yesterday. And I was actually filming at the park, but we had to put a pause on it, because I had to take care of some other stuff that came up I forgot about. So we had to take care of that. Nevertheless, camp yesterday was high energy, which it always is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But yesterday it was like intense, and that's one thing I'm noticing a lot with brothers out there that's teaching, that things are getting more and more intense. The spirit is abounding more and more. The energy, it's just the whole spirit is just powerful, man. It's can't even put it into words. And this is why there's a lot of hindrances going on, and these demons are trying to stop the work of the Lord. So they're hindering brothers on all levels to not be able to get the work out. And but that's all right, because this is all part of the makeup of teaching the truth, like the scriptures say. This is the condition of the battle. And I was set to go yesterday, but hey, the spirit didn't want that lesson to go out yesterday. It wants it to go out today. And like I said, this was a title that came into my mind, and it's a basic title, something that we know the scripture where this title comes from. But the words of the scriptures are so poignant. If you don't know what poignant means, look it up. They're so poignant, they're so sharp. It says so much in very little speech at times. And the prophecies are speaking loud and clear. And rent moratoriums are just about up. People's livelihood is at stake because of Crown Vicky and her slick ways. Her ways are movable that thou canst not know them. 1 minute she wants you, the next minute she don't. 1 minute you have to have her, the next minute she doesn't want you. It's just like the way everything is going. It's going exactly how the scriptures said it would go, and it's going in the direction of those people that have been speaking about so-called conspiracy theory, or calling people that bring out truth conspiracy theorists. And it's coming out exactly how the ones that are being accused of being conspiracy theorists, spoke about it. And it's beautiful. And there's no excuse, because the prophets are out on the streets. They're on the internet. They're speaking day and night. They're not holding their peace. Even while brothers are sleeping, the videos are out. The word is going out. And you still have people that don't get it, that don't understand, that can't fathom the things that are going on in the world today. And what's going to happen is, the tighter the grip gets, the more desperate these people get, the more answers they're going to want. And the answers are right in their face, and they just can't see it. So that's why the name of the lesson is called, there's a crying for wine in the streets. Because this is what we're going to face. we're going to face individuals wanting answers. We had 4 Simeonite women that came to the camp yesterday, and we engaged them in Spanish. Elder Bishop Sakaran and myself, because Elder Pastor, told us to speak to them. So we're going into it, speaking to them, telling them about Yahushua, him being a so-called black man, speaking about, the curses, telling them about slavery and, just a few little things here and there that the Spirit had us bring out. Told them that America's Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed because of the same things that were going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, so on and so forth. And there was one that was being a little belligerent. She was trying to impose her will and, show her knowledge of the scripture. Salaki, I know I'm kind of ranting a little bit, but please bear with me. I'm just trying to get these points out. She was trying to, get her point across, being a woman, as she is. And the Spirit was so heavy that they had to shut down. They had to fall back and just listen. Because the Spirit was so compelling, so convicting, that they couldn't gainsay it. And after a while, you heard them kind of shutting down a little bit. But then, when the topic of Crown Vicky came out, that's when they lost. This is where we get off. This is where I get off. Especially this one particular one, But these same people that have an answer for everything, when all hell breaks down, when all hell breaks, and we get the SHTF scenario going on, they're going to be one answers. Like, put it here, literally means shit hits the fan. That's SHTF. SHTF, which is a phrase, shit hits the fan. The SHTF is something called an acronym. An acronym is a phrase or a name or title of somebody that the first letters of each word are used to shorten it, especially when you're writing, so you don't have to write so much. So that's an acronym, all right? It's like not even an abbreviation. Abbreviation is just writing the word and not writing the whole thing out. But this is more like an acronym, SHTF, shit hits the fan. So it literally means shit hits the fan or stuff hits the fan. Yeah, that's if you're trying to be politically correct. We say shit hits the fan. Excuse our Swedish. It says if you prefer a term less vulgar, and the word vulgar does not mean foul language. The word vulgar just literally means people. Vulgate, vulgar, people. All right, Volkswagen, people wagon. It says whichever you prefer. We all know how messy such an occurrence would be. When the SHTF, it means that something has taken a turn for the worse. Some people think a natural disaster is a SHTF, but it's going to be a lot more than that, because Yahushua spoke about the prophecies and things that would be happening in these times to usher in his second coming and to let us know that he is close. All right. So as we read Matthew 24:4, it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. So now you have had people out there that say that they're the anointed, the Messiah, so on and so forth. But this is even broader than that. It's speaking about people that claim to come in the name of the Lord, people that claim to be so-called Christians, people that claim to have the right way to the Lord. It encompasses all that, as well as, calling themselves the Messiah. It says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Why? Because these are just preludes to what's coming. And what's the big event? What's that, the big phrase, the big thing that's coming? Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is on the rise. And it's going to get worse. And although we're out there in the streets teaching Jake is still going to be looking for answers. You know, they're going to be looking for solutions. And the solutions are all there in spades. We give them the name of the Most High. We give them the name of Yahweh Shai. We tell them and read the scriptures and break the scriptures down as to what they're supposed to do in order to get right with the Lord, so on and so forth. But they don't want to hear it. That's why the Apostle Paul, and yes, his writings are true, said, you know, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. You know, and you had many different times where you had these different events that took place among these nations where they were trying to impose their will and establish their way of life and their religions and customs, so on and so forth. It's happened many different times. Ever since there was a nation on the planet, and each nation had a rise in power, and they had an empire, or they had rulership over a certain plot of land or over people, they've always been trying to impose their will on everybody, which goes back to a phrase or a term called the New World Order, which they'll say that that's a conspiracy theory. But then when you analyze everything that's going on around the world, everything is going exactly how it was said that the people who claim to, who they call conspiracy theorists, spoke and said it would happen. So, you have to be the judge on that. So Isaiah 55:6 says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Why? Because there's going to come a time when the Lord is not going to be near. What does that mean? That means that the Lord is going to withdraw his prophets from the streets who are his mouthpiece. Let's go real quick to Jeremiah chapter 3. Basic, fundamental building block scriptures that are so impactful, so deep. And then you have individuals that want to get super deep. When the basics are deep, think about how when you first came into the truth, and you were just so in awe of the knowledge that was being taught. Those are all basic things. Because back then we couldn't understand the deep mysteries. We only understood the basic stuff, and the basic stuff was like wow, So just think that way to the people now, Jake out there that's just starting to wake up now, how their mind is. That's all you need is the basics, man. That's a lesson right there for a brother. All you need is the basics. That's a lesson. All you need is the basics. That could even be a series. All you need is the basics. Jeremiah 3:15. It says, and I will give you pastors, what are pastors? Pastors take care of the sheep. They are shepherds. And a pastor is a preacher or is a prophet, because they watch for your souls. That's why it says in Hebrews 13:7 and 13:17 that the Lord set up men over other men to watch for their souls, to show them and guide them in the right direction. Why do you think Yahweh Shai spoke about false prophets? Why do you think Yahweh Shai told the apostles, look, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, feed my sheep, feed my lambs. Because these are things that a shepherd is supposed to do, because you have, as opposed to the shepherd, you have the foxes and you also have the hirelings. So it says, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart. So what does this mean that the Lord is going to give us pastors according to his heart? Because what is Yahweh Shai said, from the abundance of the heart man speaketh. So whatever you see is coming out of somebody's pie hole, right? That is normally what's heaviest on their mind. You have these individuals that's all into women, or all into cars, or all into entertainment, or whatever the case is, and that's all they talk about. Why? Because from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So the Lord said that he's going to give us pastors according to his heart, right? So what does that mean? That means that the men that the Lord set up to be the pastors, to be the shepherds, to be the prophets and preachers, so on and so forth, are going to speak the mind of the Lord, which is written in the scriptures. Who has known the mind? What scripture is that? And we know what the Lord revealed to us. And that's all we know, because that's all the Lord wanted us to get. If the Lord wanted us to get more, we would have got more. You know, Deuteronomy 29:29. It says, the secret things belong unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai our power, but those things which are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Why? Because at the end of the day, this word, this message, this doctrine, which is only one faith, you know, one body, is what's going to seal and deliver the elect of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So I'm looking for this other one, error. Okay, what's the error? What's the error? There's an error. What's the error? Boom. Here we go. Beautiful. Wow. All right. Romans 11:34. For who hath known the mind of the Lord, or who hath been his counselor? Yeah. So the Lord revealed to us the things that he wanted us to know. Because whatever the Lord wants us to know, that we know. Whatever he doesn't want us to know, that we don't know. Why is that? Because he is the Most High, Yahweh. There's a reason why when John heard the seven thunders utter their voice, he was about to write what he heard. What the Lord say? Nope, don't write that. Why? Because that's not meant for us to get. But now you have individuals now that think that they're deeper than deep. Oh yeah, I know what the seven thunders uttered. Oh really? When the Lord told John not to write it. The Apostle John. 1 Corinthians 2:16. For who hath known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Yahushai. And what was the mind of Yahushai? And is the mind of Yahweh. What is the mind of Yahushai? To do the will of his Father. Back then it was to do the will of his Father and to finish his work. So we should have the same mind frame. So when the scriptures say in Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you passages according to mine heart, meaning according to what's written in the scriptures, the instructions that make one wise and that leads one to salvation. Because these very words in this book are the reservations that were given to the elect before the world began, which they were predestined. And once those words enter into the mind of the elect, they take root. They don't leave. And these are the very things, these are the very words that direct the elect not to be deceived. Not to fall for the okie doke. Not to get bamboozled. Not to get sidetracked or deceived. As the Apostle Paul said, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Not that they were 7,000 men exactly. The number 7,000 or 7 or 70 all represents completion. That's why the Lord worked 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. That's why Peter asked him, Lord, how long shall my brother offend me, and I forgive him? 7 times 7. Yahweh said, no, not 7 times 7, 70 times 7. Which is 490 times a day. And if a brother offends you that many goddamn times, he got problems. But the point is, 7 is a representation of completion. So, and I will give you passages according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And this knowledge and understanding that they're going to feed you with, or us with, is the heart of the Most High, which is his truth. That's why it says, let's go to Acts. I got a couple of precepts that I wrote down, yesterday. But Barakateh Halbashim Al-Shai, the Spirit is feeding me to feed you. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. Why? Because we are being taught by men that are revealing to us the heart of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Saying, this is the way. Let's get it. Let's get it. No. Let's get it. Bear with me. I'm just having a little fun, just trying to unwind from the craziness of the day, I guess you could say. Isaiah 30:20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. Why? Because at one point, whenever things shut down, there was no direction. When Jake and the different captivities found themselves in a siege, when they found themselves in certain situations, facing famine and hunger and, resorting to cannibalism, the heavens were shut. The connection was shut. Because once the Most High starts bringing a judgment, there ain't no more prophets to warn. That's it. It's over. The Lord's going to withdraw his prophets at one point or another. And that's why Elder Apostle Gabar's channel got shut down, which I had a feeling it was, because when, that young chap, what he was dropping was too much. But the Spirit was on the Apostle to go hard in the paint with it. And, hey, who can resist the Spirit? And, as we speak now, I'm not sure if he's doing it now, if he's in the middle of doing it, or if he did it already. He was on his way to take care of some business, and also to go to the school, the old school in Connecticut, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, to do some filming, and pretty much to talk about, the times that are coming. And this is what the Spirit wants, because the Lord at the end of the day said, what? I will give you pastors according to mine heart, that will feed you with knowledge and understanding. So it goes on to say, and thine ear shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way. Walk ye in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. So what happens if after a while you keep getting the warning, 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 and you don't listen? Well, after that comes the judgment, because you were warned, you were told what you were doing wrong, you were shown the right way, you were told to turn your punk ass around. Just having a little fun, but it's true. You were told to turn your punk ass around from that alley where you were at, that was going to lead to nowhere. It's a dead end, sucker. Hey, Salaka, brothers and Salaka, please forgive me. I'm just, just. Anyways, listen to this. Warning and instructions. It says, he that being often reproved. What does it mean to be often reproved? Meaning to be corrected time and 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 time again. So it says, he that being often reproved hardeneth his neck, meaning that he doesn't take heed. Like the scriptures say, a wicked man will not receive correction or something like that. He'll make an excuse, or nah, you going off. I ain't going off. After that, what's going to happen? It says, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And you better believe that although this is the build-up, that's a lesson right there. This is the build-up. Oh, Lord. Spirit is bad. Right? This is the build-up. Yet they're not taking heed. And all the signs are there, but they can't see the handwriting on the wall. So he that being often reproved hardened his neck, suddenly shall be destroyed, and that without remedy, because you are being warned. Ezekiel 3:17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me. See, so the job of the prophet is to give Israel warning from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Another precept came to mind. Let me just get that real quick before I forget. All right. The word there for warning is Zahar. That's a good name for a brother. Warning, Zahar. That's warn. Zahar is warn, and Zawahar would be warning. Because whenever you have a wa, if it's not connected to the word, if you have a wa between the first and second letter, that's present tense. So zawahar would be warning. Zahar is warn. It says to admonish, warn, teach, shine. See, and that's how the prophets are shining, by giving warning. It says send out light. Yeah, because obviously you're in the world of darkness, gross darkness, like the scriptures say, gross darkness of people. And if you have a glimmer of hope, a light of salvation, why not follow that light that's guiding you, that guiding light, you know, that's guiding you to salvation. And that's ultimately what we're looking for, salvation. It says be light, be shining, to be taught, be admonished. And this is why the prophets, the true prophets, have what? Have the oil of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's why it says that the 10 virgins, 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. The 5 that were wise trimmed their lamps. The 5 that were foolish trimmed their lamps. And the lamps of the righteous were burning bright, to where they were given light. A city that sit on a hill cannot be hid. Ye are the light of the world. Yahushua said that, let your lamps shine before men. You know, let your loins be girded about with truth, or something like that. So the light is out there. Not out as far as like the candle of the wicked being out, but it's out there. It's shining bright. And the only ones that's going to approach to it are the elect. So it's to teach, warn, to shine, send out light. So the Lord set up the prophets to teach. Matter of fact, I hope, okay, here we go. Ezekiel 13:4. And why are the prophets out there teaching and warning? So that there could be no excuse. Because the enemy's coming. The trumpet is being blown. The shower par, the coronet, you know, the stringed instrument. They're all being blown, so the warning signs are everywhere. Ezekiel 13:4. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Because you have other false prophets out there that are like the foxes in the deserts. All they're looking for is the prey. They don't want thinkers. They don't want people that's going to question them. They just want followers, suckers. Empty vessels, empty suits. They don't want anybody that's going to question what they're doing. They just want people to obey and follow, just like the international bankers. Those of you that haven't seen the movie They Live, I suggest you see it. It should be on YouTube. Roddy Piper, however you say his name, he was an old wrestler. I'm not sure if he's still alive. And you had Keith David. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. But that movie's bad because they show you that when they had the shades on, they were able to see the world for what it really was. You could walk down the street, look at the newspaper, look at tabloids, look at advertise and ads and different signs in the world, and on billboards, on the side of buildings, in the front of buildings, and you could see the truth: obey, consume, so on and so forth. See? But you have prophets that are doing the total opposite. That's why it says that the spiritual man is mad. It says you have not gone up into the gaps. And then you have some Israelites out there, leaders that go back 30 years or more, that are not even out in the streets anymore. Pretty much they retired. And they leaving the bulk of the work and the heavy lifting to the young men. Now the scriptures do say that the Lord called the young men for their strength and the old men for the wisdom. But still, Yahushua said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Yahushua started the work of the Lord, his Father, and he finished it. And it's required of us too. The Apostle John was in his 90s when he was on the island of Patmos and got these visions. That just lets you know that the job of a prophet is not done until that prophet is back in the spirit world and in these times delivered. All right. So it says, you have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. Yeah, because you have to equip Jake out here with these words. These words are shields. These words are armor. These words are helmets. These words are spears. These words are swords. These words are daggers. These words combat the spirits, the evil spirits in this world. And that's the job of the prophet, to teach it. And if people listen, beautiful. If you have Israelites out there that listen, and beautiful, accept it, beautiful. But those that don't, guess what? These same words that were spoken to them are going to be a witness against them in this time. And how is that going to happen? It's going to happen when they find themselves, when they mock the prophets and then find themselves in a time of Jacob's trouble with no deliverance. In famine, in thirst, in nakedness, in torture, in a concentration camp without any deliverance. There's consequences. All right, so we read that, we read this. So let's go back to Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. Why? Because at the end of the day, let the Lord be true and every man a liar, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. The power of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom you slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. You heard that vocab? Israelites only. And we are witnesses of these things, and so is also the Holy Spirit, whom the Most High hath given to them that obey him, which are Israelites. Now we jump down to the 38th verse, just to get to the point. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone, for if this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught. So anything that is not established by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to come to nothing. It says, but if it be of the Most High, if it was established by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you cannot overthrow it. Why? Least happily you be found even to fight against the Most High. That's why even Heliodorus said that there wasn't a special place in the heart of the Heavenly Father for those people. In so many words. You know, you brothers that have read the scriptures know what I'm talking about. I can't think of it verbatim. But that's the truth. And the Lord, his heart, his mind, his energy is toward the elect. They're going to give heed because they have that special ingredient inside of them to give heed to it. Because this is really a rigged game at the end of the day. You know? But still in all, it still has to be played out the way it has to be played out. All right, so now let's see what else we got. We read that. We read that. All right, so let's get some of these precepts I have here, which go into the name of the lesson, which the name of the lesson, once again, is there's a cry for wine in the streets. All right, and that's directly from the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now, this is twofold because right now, as we speak, you have people that are listening to these words, but they're not hearing these words. So there is a famine already of hearing the word, because you have Israelites out here that are listening to what we're saying through the Spirit, right? Or they're listening to what we're saying and they're not getting it. It's not resonating. It's not being married with faith. So it's not helping them. But this is also speaking about there's going to come a time where the word is not going to be readily available as it is now. And even now as we speak, the words are being shut down without Jake even knowing. They don't even realize that the Lord is shutting the store down, closing the whole damn store down on them, and they don't even see that it's coming. That's why Yahushua told those women, don't cry for me, cry for you and your children, because if you had known what belonged to your peace, but now it is hid from your eyes. See? So the word is out, but Jake's still not giving heed. Like the scriptures say, my people, they don't even consider. And that's why it's going to be really bad for them when that time comes. You would call it fear mongering. The scriptures say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And these same individuals that say fear mongering, right, will call somebody a whoremonger. Oh, that's a man that has sex with a lot of women. Nope. Wrong. Fear mongering is to sell fear. Word mongering or monger, it means to sell. Whoremongering means a pimp, someone who sells whores. Has nothing to do with a man, an Israelite man with a voracious sexual appetite, as long as those women that he's dealing with are not married. And another thing is just not popping these women and just dropping them, the pop and drop. You know, it's about, you know, you get with a woman, you know, and you be with that woman. You're going to have problems. Like I had this one woman come on the comment board. I mean, I don't know if she's a sister or not. It seemed like she was sincere. But she's, you know, trying to get information from us, you know, on how to, you know, counsel from us on how to deal with her husband. And we've told you before, we're not marriage counselors. We're not here to set right, you know, your whatever is going on in your relationship. This is something you have to deal with. Something you have to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for. And this is something that you have to speak to your spouse or whatever the case may be, you know, and explain to them what's going on, explain whatever it is that you're going through, and try to find a solution to it. You know? Because I'm just going to be honest, you know, here it is, you got a man and a woman that get together. You know, they have that lust, desire, whatever the case is. You know, they have the what's the word I'm looking for? The feeling of being sexually intimate with each other. They get to enjoy all of that. And then when shit goes sour, now somebody else got to come in that has nothing to do with the relationship, that has not benefited from any of that, you know, having to deal with these people's problems. The Apostle Paul said it best, so such shall have problem in the flesh. We repeat, we are not marriage counselors. We are not here to straighten out your marriages. If you want something like that, go to IUIC or them other camps that get into that stuff. You know, and to the sister, you know, that left a comment, if she happens to be listening to this, please don't take it the wrong way, you know. I'm not trying to be insensitive to your situation, but at the end of the day, we are not marriage counselors. You women out there, you men out there have to understand that. We are not marriage counselors. We are here to teach the word, and that's it. The Apostle Paul said it best. Look, if it's that bad, then just don't have a relationship. Just don't deal with women. Men don't deal with women. Women don't deal with men. Just be by yourself if it's that much of a problem. Because you're going to have problems in the flesh. That's just the way of life. And you have to think of it this way. It's not fair to the people that are not benefiting from anything that you have in that relationship to have to deal with the burdens that you bring or presenting to them. You have the scriptures. The Lord said, whatsoever he put together, let no man put asunder. Now, if you and that individual happen to break up, that's between you and them. But just remember this. You women out there that have a man and you break up with that man, you can't go deal with no other men. And if you're a young woman, you know you're going to get those sensations and those feelings. So you better think straight. You better think good before you make that move. Because once you make that move, you either stay by yourself or you be reconciled to that man. Because we're not going to be, okay, well, sister, since that brother ain't dealing with you right, he ain't on the level to deal with you, sister. See, because the problem is he ain't mature enough. So what I'm going to do, you know, with all the power vested in me, is I'm going to set you up with this brother here that can deal with a woman like you because he is more equipped, because he has more experience than this other individual. See, the man that you got with, he was just young, you know, he just never really understood or knew. No, man. That shit is wicked. All right? And that's what I'm going to say on it. All right, so let's read this again. Hey, that was the Spirit. The Spirit wanted that to come out, because I wasn't planning on talking about that. Look, we are guided through the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Whatever the Lord wants us to say, that's what's going to come out. You don't like it? Move along. There's many other groups out there that can suit your feelings or suit your wants. Because if you are an Israelite and you're coming to this truth, you should be looking on how can I please the Lord? What can I do with whatever gift the Lord gave me to please the Lord? Not the other way around. How does the Lord fit around my schedule? No. You should be in the mindset of, what can I do to please the Lord? What is my gift? Why am I here? How can I, add to this? Because these other groups out there are giving the people the idea that the Most High is working around their schedule. And that's why they choose groups that cater to their needs, their wants, and things that they want to do. Because at the end of the day, it's not about them pleasing the Lord. It's about the Lord pleasing them or working around their schedule. Fuck out of here, man. Get like Barack Allah out there in L.A. shit, goddamn. Salaki. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And that's what's going to happen. And see, these people are not going to be equipped, so they're going to be looking for answers in these up and coming months, in these up and coming days, these up and coming weeks. You already heard the different individuals out there speaking about, how they're setting everything in place and how they're about to send these different signals out. And those that have been crowned vickied out there, they're going to be in a bad situation, more than likely. So it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and shall not find it. Because the Lord is going to withdraw himself. I will go and return to my place, until they acknowledge their offense and their affliction, they will seek me early. But guess what? For a lot of Jakes, it's going to be too late. Read Proverbs, the 1st chapter, if you think the Lord is playing. It says, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. What type of thirst? Thirst for water. I'm sorry. Well, it's for the water of the truth. That's what I meant to say. Thirst for the knowledge. Because they're not going to have it readily available like they have it now. And, you could be like, whenever everything goes down, I could just go back on YouTube and go back and look at all those different videos that are uploaded. A lot of those channels been taken down. All of those videos, those thousands of videos, hundreds of thousands of videos, 10,000s of videos are all taken down for the most part. And even brothers that download it, or maybe some sisters that download it, or brothers that downloaded it, that upload videos, after a while their channels get clipped and they're stopped uploading. So they just have their own archives to themselves. because it's going to shut down. Just like Elder Apostle Gabar said earlier in the lesson that he did, when he said that there's going to come a day when these doors here are going to be closed, we didn't look at him crazy, just to set the record straight. We didn't look at him like he was crazy. We listened, but you had other individuals there that are no longer around that were looking at him like that were looking like, like, what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? But we didn't look at him like that because we acknowledge him as being a man of the Lord, a spiritual man. So we listened. But them other individuals that you don't see around no more, that haven't been around, that just fell out, they were the ones that had the problem with it. Because we listened. Barakatah Yahweh Shemel Shai for that, because the Lord gave us a spirit to listen. But you're going to have that. You're going to have the ones that listen and the ones that don't listen. And that's the whole premise of the lesson. That the word is out there, but nobody's listening for the most part, except for the elect. There's a crying for wine in the streets. And that's what's going to happen. The answers are out there, but Jake ain't listening to the answers because the answers don't fit their curriculum. All right. Now, let's go to 1 Samuel 3:1. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And this is where we're going to return to. You see how you see brothers on the corners teaching, bringing out videos, putting thousands of videos up. There's going to come a point where that's going to shut down too. So get it while the getting is good. Yeah, that's a lesson right there. Get it while the getting is good. That's beautiful precept. Salaki brothers, I haven't really been paying attention to the comment board, but the brother Yashalom from the New York camp put Isaiah 45:19. I have not spoken in secret in the dark place of the earth. I said not to the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speak in righteousness. I declare things that are right. And that's at the end of the day what's going to be the determining factor of deliverance. And Shalom, Yahweh Bashem El Shai, brought a thumb to the apostles, elder bishops, elders, camp leaders, brothers out there, and a few sisters that are sincere, out there, May the Lord bless all of you, and may we all make it out of here. Shit, because at the end of the day, man, ain't nobody made it out of here yet. We're hoping, but, ooh, man, so there was no open vision in those days, and the word of the Lord was precious. So if something is precious, that means it's very few, not much of it. There is lack of it. There's a very small amount. Because as Elder Apostle Gabar used to always say, how can something that's abundant be precious? Something that's precious means that there's not much of it. Isaiah 3:12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even the man than the golden wedge of Ophir. What type of man? An Israelite man, but not just an Israelite man. An Israelite man of the elect. And that's why you women are going to have to seek the protection of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai through a man in that time. Now, some sisters that don't have men, the Lord going to make a way for you to still be protected if you're part of the elect, but there's going to come a point where that whole feminist attitude, that's going to be out the window, because you got a lot of Israelite women that know that they're Israelite women that got a fucked up feminist attitude. And they ain't going to make it. I'm going to tell you straight up. I hope I make it, but I know for sure that they ain't going to make it unless they repent. And I don't see them repenting because that demonic feminist spirit is out there. It's out there. I went to go get a smoothie yesterday, I believe it was. And before I even walked in the door, I just saw this woman walk. I said, she just like it. I just got this feeling, this emotion that this woman is super proud. She's a goddamn feminist. I don't want to be nowhere around her. So as I walk in to order my smoothie, she's up there at the counter, and I'm all the way back as far as I can be to the door to put enough space between me and her. You know, and I could just feel that whole demonic vibe off of her. You know, of her being a goddamn feminist. You know? But you have a lot of women that call themselves Israelite. Shalom, brother. Yeah, shalom, sister. And you're nothing but a bunch of goddamn demons. Nothing but a bunch of goddamn feminist demons, man. And the Lord's going to deal with you too. At the end of the day, the Lord is making a separation, man. He's making a separation. He's making a separation. This is what you have to understand. The Lord is making a separation. You got these fucking guys talking about, well, why can't we all get along? You know, all these differences, all these divisions and all that. The Lord is making a separation between the ones that serve the Lord and the ones that don't serve the Lord. Not every Israelite you see out there is a brother. Not every Israelite woman you see out there is a sister. The Lord is making a difference. Isaiah 32:2. A man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So the time is coming, because men get the raw deal here, especially the Israelite man, beginning with Judah, the so-called Negro. They get it the worst. The rest of the men get it bad, but they don't get it as bad as Judah. You know? So the word of the Lord was precious in those days. So we look up the word precious. The word there is Yaquar. That's a good name for a brother too. Yaquar, precious. Well, not really, because you know, you have that woman called Precious, that movie. So, you know, and I know a lot of West Indians, I'll say it like that, they call their daughter Precious. You know, so I mean, it's not a bad name, Hebrew name, you know, but what's your name mean, brother? Precious. Which is nothing wrong with that, but you know, in this society, I don't know. Valuable, see, prized, weighty, precious, rare, see, rare. So something that's precious is rare. You're not going to find that much of it. Splendid, precious, costly, precious, highly valued, precious stones or jewels. Right, and then people have jewelry, but they have certain jewelry that's their most prized possessions. They'll have jewelry, they'll buy a bunch of jewelry, and then do some jewelry they never really wear that much. But there's some jewelry that they wear a lot because it's special to them. You know? And that's what, so the word of the Lord is going to be very precious in these times. Matter of fact, let's look up that word precious in the Common Dictionary just to see what it says. I knew that movie was going to come up. I knew it. Precious. Of an object, substance, or resource of great value, not to be wasted or treated carelessly, which is good. It says used as a term of address for a beloved person. That's good. But let me try precious definition, meaning. You know what? Let me type in free dictionary. I don't know why, I just like that free dictionary. Precious. Of high cost or worth, valuable precious jewels, highly esteemed, cherished precious moments with the new baby, dear, beloved, affectedly, dainty or over, informal, thoughtful, and I mean, that's all good, but pretty much it's really precious because there's a lack of it. Like I said, in those days was the word of the Lord precious. Why was it precious? Because not many, there weren't many open visions back then. Valuable, of great worth or price, costly. All right, they're not really going to go into it, but that's all right. That's why it's precious. Something that's precious is there's not much of it. All right, so let's see what else we got. Let's go to Psalm 74. Almost done with these precepts that I got here. Yep, we're almost at the hour mark anyway. It feels like we've been going for a while, but that's the spirit. Psalm 74:9. We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet. Neither is there among us any that knoweth how long. Yeah, because the prophets are out here. But there's going to come a point where that's going to stop. O Most High, how long shall the adversary reproach? You're going to be in a bad case, especially those of you that know that you're Israelites. That's why I said they that know are going to be beaten with more stripes. Those of you that know that you're Israelites and you're just being wicked, this is what you're going to be saying. Oh Most High, how long shall the adversary reproach? We Israelites, I thought we was your people. Read Proverbs, the 1st chapter. Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever? Why withdrawest thou thy hand, even thy right hand, pluck it out of thy bosom? Yeah, because you're going to want answers. You're going to want deliverance. You're going to want the Lord to step in. It says, for the Most High is my king of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Yeah, and the Lord is this king. And he is going to bring salvation, but he's only going to bring salvation to his elect. Let's see, the brother Samak Amuf. Hey, Shalom, bro. I haven't seen you in a minute, but I know you're out there teaching, my brother. You know, just there's so many. There's a brother out there in Puerto Rico. You know, there's so many videos and stuff going out. Brothers get lost in the shuffle sometimes. Etymology of precious, valuable, of great worth, or price, costly. From Old French, precious, costly, honorable. And you know, brothers don't speak the language, but they try to put the accent. It says of great worth, 11th century, modern French, value, worth, price. Yeah, it's all good. Elder Manat Zagba, brother, you a bad dude, my brother. You a bad dude. Because that was the next precept on the list, is Ezekiel chapter 7, and the Spirit had him put it up there. That's see, that just shows you how the Spirit works. You know, the Spirit works as a synergy. You know, he just put that up. You know, matter of fact, let me see what time did he put that up. He put that up at 5:17. Right now it's 5:18, and that was the next precept I was going to go to. Come on, man, you can't tell me that's not the Spirit. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 23. It says, make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Now, this happened back then to Jake in the land of Israel. We also use this a lot. We used to use it a lot. We haven't used it in a while for the stuff that's going on in the land of Israel right now. Also the one in Zechariah, you know. But this is also can be used today. You know, right now in the situation that Jake is going to find themselves in. Whenever you read through the scriptures, you know, you qualify it. Say, look, this happened in the Babylonian Empire. This happened in the Persian Empire. This happened in the Middle Persian Empire. This happened in the Greek Empire. This happened in the Roman Empire. But we're using it now because the scriptures say the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. So we're using these things as the build-up to what's coming. Because this when we read Matthew 24, Luke 19, Luke 21, I'm not sure if it's in Luke the 20th chapter also, where it speaks about the cities being compassed by the military and all of that. That happened back then in 70 AD. That was falling away first. But that's also going to happen now. So we'll use it for today, but we'll always say this happened back then, but we're using it as an example today. And that's why the best way to teach the scriptures is to make sure you qualify everything. You know, like when you go to Daniel, the 8th chapter, the 25th verse, that's not talking about now. That was talking about back then with Antiochus Epiphanes, but brothers still use it today. But I do hear brothers saying, well, you know, Antiochus Epiphanes used that back then, but, you know, we're talking about now. Because it can be used today as an example, but you have to qualify of what that means so people don't get confused with the breakdowns. See? All right. Whew. It says, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, which is Esau, the Amalek, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. Yeah, now this was back then, and this is also speaking about now. Because who are the main, the international banking families? That's Amalek. And what are they doing? Jake has built up a certain amount of wealth. They bought cars, they bought land, they bought whatever, they bought this, that, and the other. They built businesses, and what's happening? All this going to be transferred back to Esau, back to Amalek. And even your places of worship, they're going to take over. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Like I said, this happened back then. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. Why? Because the Lord is going to step in and cut off the feed line. This is a line. This is the unicorn's horn. This is a feed line that's going on. The Lord is feeding his elect through this medium. But the Lord is going to put it, it's going to come to a point where he's going to cut that feed line off. And then Jake is going to find himself in a very precarious, bad situation. All right? It says, the king shall mourn, and the princes shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. Yeah, so all of you Israelites, this happened back then, it's going to happen again now. You're going to be troubled. Jacob's trouble. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them. And they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shaddai. Because you're going to acknowledge the power of the heavens. You're making mockery of it now. You're making fun of, oh no, Jesus ain't white or black. The God ain't white or black. He's a spirit. And they that worship the Lord must worship him in spirit and the truth. Yes, that is true. But the truth is that the Heavenly Father, if he was to come on the earth as a man, he would come on the earth as a so-called black man. But you've been so plantationalized that you can't see that. All right, now let's go to the Apocryphy. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, and verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number. Yeah, because Jacob's trouble is coming. And the way of truth shall be hidden. Why? Because the Lord is going to put a withdrawal. Just like when you have, what happens when people are desperate for money? They have a bank account, right? And what do? They run to the bank account and do what? What they call it? I believe they call it a bank run. You have a bank run, and what happens? When you have a bank run, the bank only has so much money on hand because they lend out more than they have because they're only required to have only 10%. So the money that you're putting in there, they're lending to other people under something called a fractional reserve banking, which affords them to lend out 100%, and all they have to have is 10% asset, so-called, in the bank. So when everybody's panicking and they're trying to come get their money out, they put a stop on it. And you can't go and withdraw that money that you had in there as a hedge for you because of the calamities that you were going through, because everybody's going through the calamities. So there's going to come a point where people are going to be taken in great number, you Israelites out there. You're going to be in Jacob's trouble. You're going to be knee deep in the shit. The way of truth is going to be hidden, so you're not going to be able to withdraw from that spiritual bank account because the Most High is going to put a stop on that spiritual bank run. Matter of fact, just beareth with me a second. Babakusha. What the fuck? Okay, Salaka. I want to make sure that we're still at the same. Boom. It says, what is a bank run? A bank run occurs when a large number of customers of a bank or other financial institutions withdraw their deposits simultaneously over concerns of the bank's solvency. So when the Lord starts withdrawing his word, then Jake gonna want to run to the word to get the word, and there ain't gonna be enough word for them to get. Read Proverbs, the first chapter. It says, as more people withdraw their funds, the probability of default increases. Now the Lord's word is not, it doesn't default. I'm just using this as an example. But when the Lord withdraws his word, guess what? There's going to be not a lot of it. So the word of the Lord is going to be precious in those days, prompting more people to withdraw their deposits. In extreme cases, the bank's reserves may not be sufficient to cover the withdrawal. So when you're trying to withdraw from the spiritual bank account, that's why Yahweh told the disciples, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, or where thieves don't break through and steal. When you go to withdraw from that, and you ain't been listening, you ain't been taking heed, you ain't been doing the right thing, you ain't been trying to get involved and trying to do the best that you can, there's going to be not enough or not sufficient funds to cover your withdrawal. See? And then you can read the rest if you want. All you gotta do is type in bank run meaning or bank run definition. You get the idea. But this, oh man, wow. So it says, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. That's why there's gonna be a crying for wine in the streets. You're not gonna have the commodity. You're not gonna have the ability. It's like I'm just having a little fun with it, but it's true. You're not gonna have the access to the very word that can save your soul, because you haven't been paying attention, you haven't been involved, you haven't been giving the Lord his due, because it's all about you. And even you leaders out there, scripture say that you serving your own belly. You're not serving the Lord. You don't care about the Lord. So it's going to come down to crunch time. When crunch time hits the fan, a lot of you are going to be in a bad jam. So it says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And that's because this is something that we've been speaking about for years. Elder Pastor, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 36 years. The other apostles, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rakah, 30 plus years, and so on and so forth. With the rest of you brothers out there. And then even before that, King Masha, High Priest Ariah, High Priest Shaw, which I believe he was a king back in the days, one of them, righteous kings. Then you had High Priest Yaiquab, Elder Abba Bivens, way back then. So for a long time, this word has been being spoken. But it's going to decrease. But iniquity is going to increase. It's going to abound. That's why Yahweh said, because the love of many shall wax, because iniquity shall increase, the love of many shall wax cold. Because it's going to come to the point of survival of the fittest. It's going to come to either you go down or I go down. That's where it's coming to. It says, in the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see wasted suddenly. Yeah. So what does this encompass? Your food shortages, the breaking down of the supply chain, water shortages, fuel shortages, and many other shortages. Remember, when you have national emergencies, all they got to do is declare national emergency, which I don't think that Donald Trump called back that national emergency where he gave total power over to FEMA. I'm not sure if he even recalled that back. I don't, maybe brother, if a brother knows, they could post it in the comment board. But I haven't heard hide or tail of that. Because once you declare a state of emergency, it's only supposed to be for like 6 months or the duration of the emergency. And if they didn't recall it, that means that they're still in that emergency. So all of these things, when they start breaking down, what they're going to do, they're going to enact, excuse me. I'm trying to think of the term right now. And excuse me for taking these 20-second pauses. Lord's will, I'm not going senile, according to some other individuals out there. But you have executive orders that are implemented and put in place to where, man, let me see. We've gone over it many times. I can't remember. I know that I have it in my favorite somewhere, but if I can't find it, that's the spirit. I got to put it somewhere where I can find it, man. Because these executive orders are to be enacted during times of extreme emergencies. And what they do is they rob the people of their rights. They take away your freedoms. They take away your houses. They take away your vehicles. They take away your electricity. They take away your water. They take away everything from you. And the government can say, well, you know what? We have a situation here, and all of you now are servants or slaves to the government, and they can send you out in work brigades. They show you that in the movie not 1984, Handmaid's Tale, where they send you out to the colonies, the work colonies. So you have all of that. So the Spirit don't want me to find it, because if not, it would already found it. But let's go back. It says, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, because you're going to have the prophets out there, right? It says, and the moon thrice in the day, and blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. Yeah, because what's happening? The words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua are going to be speaking. Boy, if I catch your ass, this goddamn gnat just keep bothering me, man. That gnat got Satan all over it. So that's what's going to happen. The words are taking root, because the Lord said that his words don't go out void. Whatever he spoke is going to go down. So we're at the point where the words have been spoken enough to where they're starting to take root. They're starting to come alive. They're starting to do things. They're starting to evoke emotion. They're starting to materialize. Right? It says, and even he shall rule whom they look not for, that dwell upon the earth, and the fowls shall take their flight away together. You mother floater. And eventually, Yahweh Shai is going to rule. Jake's going to rule. But even now, you have this decrepit, broken down vessel, Antiochus Epiphanes, Antiochus Epiphanes, however you want to call them, creepy Joe sliding Biden, that devil that's up in office. Then you have Kamala Harris, I don't even want to say what I call her, because it might be offensive to some of y'all, to some of y'all, but I kind of got the idea to call it that from Judge Joe Brown, which he has a total disdain for that skeezer. It says, and the sodomite sea shall cast out fish, and you see that happening right now. You see a lot of boogery going on. For those of you chaps out there, you blokes that and you righteous birds out there. No, Salaka, please forgive me. I'm just having a Salaka. It says in the side of in the sodomite sea, Salaka, the doves, man. I gotta have Lord's will finish this lesson because the doves are starting to manifest. And the sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known. See, but they shall hear the voice thereof. Yeah, because you're gonna see these things happening. Because right now the trumpet is being blown, and then eventually, when the trumpet is being blown, it's warning you of something, and eventually that something is gonna be manifest. It says there shall be a confusion also in many places, and we see that happening, and we're gonna see that even escalate. Now they're getting to the point where you had this dickhead John Lemon that's saying, look, if you don't get the Crown Vicky, you shouldn't be able to go to a restaurant. You shouldn't be able to go here. You shouldn't be able to go there. You shouldn't be able to go over here. So what is that doing? That's their heralds, as Elder Bishop Sakaran brought out yesterday. Those are their heralds. They're newscasters, the ones that are ushering in through their words the New World Order. So there shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again. Why? Because you're going to have people get mad. What do? They set shit on fire. They set shit ablaze. It says, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. So the wild beasts are already changing their places because they're coming out of the woods because these devils have cut their forest down. And then when it says menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, I know brothers have been using the scripture to say that it's talking about these demons out here, these children that are unruly and that are just effed up and bugged out and whatever they call them, saggy pants, soggy bottom boys, and all of that. But really what this is talking about women bringing forth children that are disfigured, that are retarded, and why is that? Because it's the Lord first and foremost, fear not him that is able to kill the body and can do nothing after with the soul, but fear him that can kill both body and soul in hell. So that's dealing with that's what it's really dealing with. The technology that they pushed out there and the stuff that they put in inside of people that's making them come out that way, whether they be retarded, whether they be with Down syndrome, or whether they be whatever, that's really what it means when menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Not that they're gonna be unruly kids and fuck you mom and I know that's how brothers break it down. We used to break it down like that before years ago, but it's really talking about deformed children, and the other stuff I mentioned, retarded and all that, It says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Why? Because of the times that are coming. It says, then shall wit hide itself. See, wit is going to hide itself. Why? Because you're not going to have anyone to explain to you why these things are happening. Because when all hell breaks loose, the thing that people need are what? Answers. They need answers. They want answers. They want solutions. And they're not going to get solutions from the men of the Lord. They're going to get their solutions from the international banking families. Pressure from above, pressure from below. And what comes in the middle is what? The solution. And that solution benefits the bankers, not the peoples. It says, then wit shall hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into the secret chamber. Why? Because the Most High is going to withdraw the prophets from the streets. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Because the word ain't going to be out there readily available like it is now. So you're not going to be able to take advantage of getting this word when that time comes. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Why? Because people are going to figure, well, since we're not getting the direction we want to go, we're going to make our own righteousness. They're going to go in the mode that they want to. They're going to just resort to whatever. Cannibalism. You know, we used to work for this one guy. He said, well, no, when shit hit the fan, in so many words, if it's between me and Fido's going down. Fido being a dog. So I'll leave it to your imagination what he means by that. You know? It says, one land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? They're going to be looking for answers from the scriptures. And they shall say, no. Why? Because the Lord is going to withdraw his hand. He's going to withdraw the instructions. He's going to withdraw the reproof. He's going to withdraw the rebuke. He's going to withdraw the admonishments. And they're not going to be readily available as they are now. That's why it says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Because there's going to come a point where you're not going to be able to find the Lord. Read Proverbs, the first chapter. How many times did the Spirit told me to mention that in this lesson? Read Proverbs, the first chapter. And the last precept, which came later, is also in the book of Ezekiel 33. I know this is longer than I usually go. Usually after about 45 minutes, an hour, you know, pretty much that's like usually my limit, you know, but sometimes less than that. But the Spirit is just abounding because we're at that time. And shalom to the brother Aram. I hope I got your name right, brother. Aram, the head of the Alabama camp, Babakushab. Let me know if I got your name right. I know I say it, and sometimes brother don't say nothing. We needs to know. Beautiful brother. I met that brother. I remember when I first met that brother out in Atlanta. He came to the Atlanta camp. He was actually speaking when I came to the camp, and he was kind of looking at me, you know, but he was in the spirit teaching. And then, okay, beautiful. All right, beautiful. You know, he was kind of teaching. He was kind of looking at me, you know, kind of, you know, because I really didn't know the brothers like that. I'm looking around. I'm just checking brothers out. But this beautiful brother, very humble brother, you know, very studious, you know, brother, you know, beautiful brother, you know. So, you know, shalom, my brother Aram. And Salaki, sometimes I forget brothers' names because I don't use brothers' names all the time, you know. So, you know. And stay tuned to that brother's channel because he does a lot of good videos. And other brothers too, man. If I was to name everybody, brother, we'd be here all night. It'd be a 2-3 hour video just on mentioning brothers that get down in the spirit. But this is Ezekiel 33. And Salaka, yes, I've been sipping a little yayan. You know, I'm just trying to relax my mind, let my conscience be free. You know. But Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, he allowed me to do this lesson because it's serious business, man. Hey, shalom, brother Yahweh Shai Barakatah. You know, it's serious business, you know, going on. And the things that are coming are going to be very detrimental. And you're not going to have the answers that you're looking for because the Lord is going to withdraw his spirit from the world in that time because you were given a certain period of time to get it. You didn't get it, forget it. Ezekiel 33 and 30, it says, also thou son of man, the children of thy people stood up talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord. Yeah, because they're looking at this as entertainment. And that's why the Spirit always has us do lessons, as some of you brothers really don't understand what you're involved in. And you know, we don't really focus that to the sisters because at the end of the day, the men are the teachers, not the women. You know, so that's why we focus it more on the men, that you really don't know what you're involved in. You know, not all of you, because some of you know. If you was to ask certain brothers, look, why are you here? They wouldn't even know how to answer you. You know? But let's move on. It says, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will do but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness, which goes hand in hand with Isaiah the 29th chapter and the 29th verse down. You know, they praise the Lord with their lips, but their heart is far from the Lord. And it's not that they don't have the solution or the answers, because the prophets are out there teaching them, telling them, showing them, breaking it down. But the Lord is going to withdraw that. It says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. Yeah, that's right. Fuck these crackers, man. Shit, goddamn crackers, man. Yeah, man, motherfucker fired me from my job because I took a whole week off, so he fired me from my job. Fuck these crackers, man. You know, my woman, man, she cheated on me, man. Yeah, fuck that hoe. You know? Yeah, you get down for that, but then when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you know, you ain't trying to deal with the truth. You know? So this is entertainment for you, for a lot of you. Read Proverbs, the first chapter. Those of you that are in this for entertainment, read Proverbs, the first chapter. That's what I'm going to say. Read the first chapter. And when this cometh to pass, meaning all the things that have been spoken of, that the Lord put the Spirit on his prophets to tell, to teach, to go into, lo, it will come, because we have a more sure word of prophecy. And these things are going to come to pass. It's going to happen. It's happening. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. But then what's going to happen? It's going to be too late for a lot of them, because the Lord is going to withdraw his men, as we read about Samuel, that in those days the word of the Lord was precious. There was no open vision. Right now you got all kind of visions, all kind of, you know, words being spoken, and edification going on, and breakdowns, and brothers on fire. Man, the camp yesterday at you know, we've, you know, the Spirit, you know, has given us always, Barakateh Ha'Bashem Al-Shai, you know, ability to teach. But yesterday was just like some, on a whole nother level. And I was already worn out, tired before the camp started. Then the Lord gave us that energy to do the camp, and then afterwards it's like, damn, you know? It felt like you know, you went rounds with somebody, or you worked, you know. So it was but there's gonna come a time where the Lord's gonna withdraw that spirit. Read the first chapter. That's all I'm gonna say. Read the first chapter. Time is coming short. There's gonna be a crying for wine in the streets. The word ain't always gonna be out there. The Lord is gonna withdraw his words from the streets. The Lord is gonna shut things down. The Lord is gonna stop the warning. The Lord is gonna stop the supplications to you. The Lord is gonna stop the constant rebuking and reproving. Then he's gonna bring the judgment. And when he brings the judgment, it's gonna be over, man. It's not gonna be pretty. Read the first chapter. All right, so with that, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna just keep going, but I'm gonna close it right there because, you know, I know Jake has a very short attention span, and we've gone for an hour and a half. Wow, I think that's the longest I've ever done a video. You know, usually it's like maybe half hour, 45 minutes. And when you get to an hour, it'd be like exhausted, but the spirit is just abounding because it's coming to the wire. We're coming down to the end. You know, there are going to be a lot of things that are happening. There's going to be a lot of shutdowns, not only in the food supply, not only in the fuel supply, not only in the whatever supplies, also in the word of the Lord. It's going to be a famine of the word. Hearing it, seeing it, observing it, and getting it for your benefit. So get it while the getting is good, because when they shut it down, you ain't going to be able to get it. And these instructions are the very guides that are going to lead us to salvation. So it's very important for us to take heed to these things while we have the time to do it. Because there's going to come a time when it's not going to be readily available like it is. So read the first chapter, those of you out there that are on the fence about whatever. And if you're on the fence at this point, I don't know what to tell you, man. Read the first chapter. So with that, I hate to sign off, but, Spirit's telling me to, close it right here. I'd like to say, I hope that you brothers out there and you very few sisters were edified by this lesson. Until the next time I say shalom. Stay strong. Keep the good, keep fighting as you've been doing. Do the best that you can, because none of us are perfect. We're all hoping for deliverance and salvation. The reason why we're in the position that we're in is because the Lord put us here. So let's hope to the end. Keep on fighting. Keep praying for each other. And the Lord's will be out here soon. So with that, shalom.